So we have another day to collect some Hot Wheels, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Here we have all case from case G of 2026, and two of them are new castings to the year, but these are the second colors, just to let you know. But honestly, the first color of this is like a gray, I think, and I think this black one looks a lot cooler. We'll see. Save the best for last. So let's start with the normal-looking vehicle, a 59 Impala. It's number 205 of laying low. And overall, I guess it's the 44th number in the year, but it wasn't released in the sequential order. And the whole year, they don't really tell you anything about the vehicles. I wish they did. Let me change the light angle. It's too much glare at that angle there. We'll do some weight checks later. Not sure if that's important, but well, better to check than not. 59 Chevy Impala tells you what it is. It also tells you it's a Hot Wheels, and then it's dating back to 2012. Then that's a comma and 21. I haven't been collecting these too long, so any of you veterans, what does that mean? Did they update it in 2021, the casting? Why wouldn't they just, I don't know, it's weird. Why wouldn't they just show 2021? Alright, anyways, we can see there's a plastic base, and then we have the metal rivets coming through. Looks like equal-sized tire / wheels. Some exhaust pipes coming out there, and then very sunken in, right? That's why it's laying low. Yeah, definitely looks like a cool lowrider. Looks like the white paint is just plain. It's not a metallic or anything like that. But we have these really cool stripes. I'm not even sure how to describe those. They're so swoopy and just lowrider-esque. But the colors are not lowrider-esque, right? This is like a neon green, and then the black with the little Hot Wheels banner, which is actually legible. And that wheels is really small text, so that's pretty cool for a mainline to get such detail. And that little stripe effect is actually carrying off in front of this wheel well. All right, we have some raised details by the wheel wells. I suppose if you're a customizer, you could add some silver paint there. Going to the front here, the plastic base is becoming the whole chrome front end. Some headlights, grille details there. A little bit of a license plate area. And I assume that's like supposed to be a badge. It's kind of hard to see on white paint, but there's a rectangle there. Boy, I don't know if I can show it at all. Right there, you can see a little bit of a rectangle. Okay, this side is symmetric with the other side. And then we have the crazy tail fins, horizontal fins, and then the taillights are sticking out quite a bit with a lot of definition of the grooves. So you could probably paint those pretty easily. And then you have a license plate area there, and then just a plain bumper part of the base. A little bit of a chip there from the casting. And yeah, these wings are neat. Alright. Panel details there, and for some reason, there's a groove going around this here. I'm not sure if that's on the real thing. Maybe it's their intent to, on some premiums to add some silver paint around that as chrome trim. Oh, we have some speakers back there in the sill, and this is a cool green. I don't know if my camera's doing it justice. It looks just really darkly tinted through my phone screen, but to my naked eye, it's a really nice green. This translucent stuff. Unfortunately, the plastic that they use, it scratches really easily. And look at this crazy frame, right, for the wraparound windscreen here. How this cuts in. And again, there's a groove here. Not sure why, though. Doesn't come all the way across. And then it's nice that there's no side windows there. Even in the back, there's no side windows. I like it that way because you can see the interior better. And then you have some recesses there. So it's nice that they actually painted pretty much. Well, I guess that's the only part missing paint, but that looks believable enough. And then they just have all this, deco everywhere else. So it's a mainline, you gotta remember. So pretty good value, I would say. Boy, black interiors are always hard to see what's going on. That steering wheel is not a pizza pan. It's got some definition going on. Some ribbing in the bench seats. No headrests in a car this old. Yeah, now you can see that green. Yeah, I really like this. I bet it would react to UV. Maybe I'll pull out the UV flashlight. Alright, so check it out. It's actually not the plastic reacting, it's that paint. Look at that. That's really cool. It looks like a Tron car. I was really expecting the plastic to glow. And unfortunately, the Batmobile, none of the graphics on that glow. It looks like basically the other cars don't glow. This has a little bit on the base, but we'll get to those in a moment. So number 405 is this, of the Batman series, is this classic TV series Batmobile. I do find it odd they don't say tuned, because it clearly is. I feel like they could describe their toys a lot better. Anyways, Batman classic TV stuff, and 144. Okay. I actually did a wheel swap on the black color variant of this. I'll bring it out for comparison hopefully later, but I tend to forget things as I get distracted by these toys. Alright, well, we have some nice 5-spokes in chrome red, so that's pretty neat, very flashy. And then we have the Batman logo outlined in white, and then we have some pink stripes on this really nice metallic purple-esque pink. Yeah, I would say it's a blend of purple and pink. Does that have a name? Please leave a comment. Pinklish? Pinkle? Perlink? Anyways, we can move on. Nice grille texture here, and then some recesses there. If you want to add paint, it'd be pretty easy. There's a big center ridge going up here. This side is symmetric, and you have these. It's actually reminiscent of a bat, right? That graphic. Big side bulge here, like fender flares / chrome in the middle of this casting, and the door cut there looks okay. Some parachutes and that jet thruster with some little cooling ribs around there, and then also the tail light area. It looks like you could add some paint because it's got a good definition break. Something about this paint though is pooling here on these fins. It's like almost it is a different color. Some pearlescent flakes, I guess, pooled there. So maybe it was dried that way, or I'm guessing these are actually powder coated. The banner is here, and then we have some red striping printed there. Interesting. And also some nice little pink flashy details there, and up here in the hood. And there's also red on this little raised plus sign. I have no idea what it is though. And then there's also red on the leading edge of this like hood bulge. So that's nice. A lot of paint, more than expected. The whole canopy is this translucent red, and you got the little light or whatever is up there on the top. And then it's nice that there's no side windows. You can see the stick shifter there, ribbing on the seat, really small pizza pan steering wheel, and then that interior becomes the 4 exhaust tips, or 3 exhaust tips. I forget how many are on the classic one. It looks like 3. So that's real well done. I forgot. It's been at least a year, I think, since I reviewed the black one, so I forgot everything. Well, anyways, I didn't pay much for these things, so I think that's actually pretty good for the money. So second colorway of this first casting, Hightail Chaser. It looks like a modern Dodge Charger Daytona. It is one of 5 of HW mods. Not sure the logic of calling it HW mods. For me, I instinctively think they should be modifying real cars. But is this supposed to be a real car? Please leave a comment. Well, starting with the blue bottom, it doesn't catch much UV light. It's kind of a translucent blue. It's actually interesting. Anyways, a lot of good text telling you exactly what it is, and also the brand as well. And there's a copyright date. And then, yeah, some diffuser details back here, some little NACA ducts, and inlet details there. We have staggered wheels, deep dish 8 spokes. I finally remembered what this design is called. They're cool. They look retro though. They actually look a little too retro for this casting, which looks somewhat modern to me. Alright, well anyways, we have some sculpting here on the side, like a barge board area. Yeah, there's actually a little bit of a gap there. And then it looks like the interior is probably going to be black plastic, because coming out here and becoming this whole fender area, and actually the whole front bumper / quarter panel. That's interesting. Alright, maybe hood pins. And then there's actually like a texture as if it was carbon fiber. That's actually well done. There's a little center rib here, and then a very tiny slit here. I actually feel stuff in there, so hold on, let's see if I can get the light in there. Tiny little crack there. Might be hard to see. Alright, well anyways, maybe there's supposed to be like headlights in those tiny little slits. So we have some vent ribbing up here, and then a sky blue plastic windows, and then we have some reinforcement straps slash rivets, like a NASCAR kind of thing. And then there's also rivets here on the side of the windscreen. Interesting. BZ Racing. Maybe that's the designer's initials. A little vent here, and then yeah, this is nicely sculpted. And then we have a little panel cut here, like an F40 or a Pagani. Okay, probably like Lambo doors, if I had to guess. It's the way it's cut, and there's maybe the door handle or whatever. Unfortunately, there's no open windows on the side. Going around to the rear, triangular tailpipes, I'm assuming, or possibly taillights. European license plate here, and then yeah, just air around them. So that's pretty interesting. It's like a very hypercar, right? But once you had this, it's just Dodge Daytona to me, right? So it's a very interesting mix of a classic NASCAR with the modern hypercar. Up here, look, if you ignore the wing, it reminds me of definitely a hypercar. It's also much wider in the rear than the front, it looks like. And so you have some engine cover details. This is actually the casting right here. It's blending up here. But then the plastic of the windows is coming out here, I guess to be the body, sides, like C-pillar areas. Some sort of X, not sure. And look, there we have some tailpipe details here. Like catalytic converter, tailpipe perhaps. We even have a little panel gap here, indicating it's an adjustable wing or something. Little rain gutters are here as well. That is interesting. I'm not sure if I like it. You know, it's interesting right now, right? Alright, but I think this is probably going to be most people's favorite, including myself. It's the Porsche 911 Carrera T, 1 of 5 of factory fresh, and this is the second colorway if you missed the earlier part of the video. I kind of wish it would tell you it's a 992, is it? Or 991.2 or 91, right? This is such a generic name because this name carries across decades, right? Or maybe it's just that tells you that's a more recent 911. Copyright date there, and decent amount of undercarriage details. Actually, the exhaust pipes here, right? Probably the oil pan or something. So, going to the front this time, we have some ribbing here of the interior becoming the radiator, and also these little brake ducts, it looks like. And then we have a really big Porsche crest, but it's actually got the colors, gold and red and black, so that's the way it has to be done. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would it be better to just not have that at all, or have a giant oversized badge? Because that's like the size of a tablet. I'm not sure what. I'm almost thinking it'd be better without that, if you're going for realism. And I do like how they take the windows and it becomes the clear headlights. That's really smart design. And also, this has really nicely done wiper blades. They were pretty thin, very good. All right, going to the side here. Looks like, boy, what are these? 10 spokes? Yeah, I guess 10 spokes in chrome gold. And then this is nice, Hot Wheels here instead of Porsche, interesting. And then a little bit of a door handle here, and nice that there's no side window there, just in the back. And we have some casted in mirrors, little stubby mirrors. The plastic base has some vent details here, and also the exhausts are oval. And you could add some paint around them, but yeah, it'd be hard to paint those silver if you're a customizer. License plate area and the light as well. Oh, well, that's quite interesting. They took the effort to paint the license plate on there. And then this is pretty good. 911 Carrera T in silver, and a tiny light bar, right? The tail lights in red. I was not expecting actually any color on the back of this thing. So this is actually a relatively realistic looking Hot Wheels because it has the light details, right? Except for that badge. Let's just cover that badge up. Alright, so we have some venting here into the engine. Pretty nice. The rain gutters. And then whatever gauge is on the center of that, please leave a comment. What is that? Is it a clock? I don't know. Or a rev meter, maybe? Alright, let me get the flashlight because we have some black interior to look at. Yeah, steering wheel. It's not a pizza pan. It's not the greatest, though. It's very small. The center console. I don't know. Is that a cup holder? What's in front of it? I guess that transmission actuator? I don't think it would have a stick shift, right? And what the heck is going on in that passenger seat? It looks like, is that a stuffed bear or something? Yeah, the seats definitely look modern. Nice side bolsters and the like. Boy. Yeah, I don't know what's in that passenger seat. Oh, I gotta hit focus. It's just the windows on these Hot Wheels are very cloudy often. I feel like that's a teddy bear. What do you guys think? But like two. Some kids' toys, I'm guessing. But sorry, again. Yeah, that's gotta be a teddy bear in a little teddy bear or something. I'm not sure the story behind that one. Leave a comment if you know. The rear sill is flat and in those tiny... Well, I don't even think this thing has rear seats. Yeah, maybe not. Do some weight checks here. Okay. Pretty heavy for its size. Pretty light for its size. This is actually quite much larger than this 911, as you can see, or at least longer. But more plastic. Yeah, that thing's really light. I think this is the first colorway. This one, I guess they would still have the same copyright date, but yeah. So you can see the graphics are different actually. This has like some vertical detail, and they added the red accents on the thing versus that, of course. These are my own 3D printed wheels and tires. And then I think he added the paint into those recesses, as you can see, and then yeah, I don't remember. I probably painted that whole rear end as well, and the taillights for sure. But it does have these red stripes from the first one. But yeah, the graphics are totally different. Yeah. Okay. I guess the question is, does anyone like any of the castings that's not the 911 most? I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna like this the most. It's almost it's like a realistic looking car, right? I mean, I guess that's kind of realistic looking too, but it's just simply not as cool as the 911 to me. But if you like lowriders, it's definitely something you might want to look into getting. Not really sure if I'm sold on this thing yet. It's just the mashup of modern hypercar slash retro Daytona Charger. I don't know if it works for me. And then tuned, I'm guessing it's not most people's bag, but I love them. Alright, thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time around.